All right, good evening, investors. Welcome. How we doing? Or good morning, just depending on where you're coming to us from. Welcome, welcome. Hey, how you doing? All right. Let me just adjust this real quick. There we go. You should be able to see the screen. Hopefully you guys are having a good week so far. Hopefully everything's going well. We have a few things to review tonight, and answer any questions you guys might have. Want to cover something I got in an email regarding the logo play, and we'll see what we can do. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask at any time. You can just type them in the little question box. If you don't want to ask in the room, that's okay too. You can send me an email, dustin@tradingwings.com. On the screen you see our current portfolio as well as a couple positions that could possibly set up for us over the next few days. If you cannot see it or would like to see a larger version of it, just log into the website, go to the members blog, and under current portfolio you will see the same spreadsheet. We'll take a few minutes just to go through it and update you guys on the stops. As always, we update our stop losses or reduce our risk on Mondays, and you get a chance to see that in the letter as well. But in case you missed it or didn't get a chance to see that Monday letter, let's go over that real quick. Had the opportunity to raise the stops on a lot of positions, and that's pretty much just because of the last week was a pretty nice week. Most things did well for us. So in the yellow on our spreadsheet here, all of these columns, or all of the cells that you see in yellow, represent a new stop price. So if you're playing along on one or all of these positions, you want to just take note that these are the new stop prices that I'm going to be using. And you know, of course you can put the stop wherever you like it, but this is what I'm going to go with. And if we hit these numbers, they'll be removed from our portfolio. All right. For newer members, if you look off to the right a little bit further, you'll see our two targets. We always buy stocks and shoot for two targets. The first target is a smaller target. The second target is a larger target. The larger target we will adjust up but never down for long positions, and we'll adjust lower but never up for short positions. And so that is that. We'll just start on our list over here and just kind of work down if you want. We've got, and I changed this too. See if you like this. I changed the watch list up here to say target 1 hit, and then down here no target hit. So hopefully that makes a little more sense. Okay, so FBHS, good straight uptrend. This is our weekly chart over here to the left, and on the right we have our daily chart. So every week a new bar starts on this chart, and every day a new bar starts on this chart. On FBHS, we have already hit our first target, locking in about 9%, and we're shooting for a second target now of 37, which is just a hair over this high. We've recently raised that target to try to shoot for more. We're in a position where our new stop price locks in almost 5%. So what that means, we have some new people working with us here, so let's go over that for a second. When you see the stop price in green down here, what you see is that if the play were to hit this stop price, then we would make almost 5% on our position, right? And that's the second part. We've already hit our first target. So we've already put money in the bank or in our account. And if it were to go down and hit 32.50, since it's green, I'm saying we're going to profit almost 5%. And you can see our entry price was 31, and if we get 32.50, naturally that's a profit, right? When it's 0, then that's just break even, meaning that our stop on this symbol is the same as our entry price, so we won't gain or lose on this one. Okay, however, we've already made some money on it, so I guess we'll make a little. And when you see it in red, that means we're still risking this much. So we still have the possibility to lose 6% on this one, 2% on this one, 8, 6, and so on. All right? So that's what we're reviewing. All right, so FBHS has had a nice early week last week, and it's we talked about it pulling back. We were able to raise our stop to underneath the 50-day moving average, and the moving average is this blue line right here. So you see that right there. That is the 50-day simple moving average that we put on our charts. All right. If you'd like to use the ViewTrade platform and you want to add it to the charts, you just right-click and hit Study Line. Whoop. And you can add it there, moving average, and then just configure it to 50. See? So that's how you do that. All right. So we've got our new stop on that one up to 32.50 on FBHS. Target, like we just said a second ago, we have the opportunity for a break even. And we could do better. $62 obviously is way down here. Target's had a pretty nice move recently, doing well on that one. We've hit our first target. I don't know. You could raise it higher if you like. It's break even. Either way, we're going to make money on Target. So I didn't mind putting it there. We'll take a look at it next week and probably raise it quite a bit. The only problem I have with Target, great move. Things are going well, but Target doesn't make a lot of money. And so eventually the fundamental players will get frustrated at that. The stock's moving a little bit further than it probably should given their earnings, if you follow that sort of thing. So we'll probably tighten up on that a little bit. Otherwise, our second target is 69, not too much further overhead. And as you can see on the weekly chart, there's no price resistance, meaning areas that the stock had sold off in the past. None of that above us. So we're looking good. All right, Microchip. Got a feeling Microchip's ready to do something big here. We had a gap up, which caused us to hit some targets, right? We took some profits off the table, and now we're shooting for 38, really, on Microchip, which would be over this high right here. Okay, so Microchip has been fairly quiet. We're sitting with a profit in the stock of just about 8.5%, and we'll see. If Microchip can keep moving forward, 38 shouldn't be too hard to get. We had the chance to raise our stop either so that we're going to profit on the position even if it goes down. So we're in a good shape there. We got BCPC. Right? We hit our first target the other week and had a great move on it. It was kind of a good fun few days there where it took off. And since then it's pulled back just a little bit. Not a big deal. We've had the opportunity now to reduce our risk to only 2%. So think about this. That's our spreadsheet here. All right, so on BCPC, we hit $42, right? And so we took almost 7.69%, right, off the table. And then we said we're going to raise our stop on the last part of our position, so we only lose 2% if it pulls back, right? So either way, we're going to make money on BCPC. Now, the reason why we probably had a little pullback or continue to have this little pullback is just right here. We talk about price resistance all the time. Traders love to sell at spots where the stock sold off before in history, right? Really funny. If I happen to watch that, what's his name? The guy on CNBC, the bald guy, the really annoying one, Kramer. I happened to watch him, and he was talking about technical. He was talking about charts tonight, and he never does that. And you could just see him focusing so hard on the teleprompter, making sure to read the words right, because that's not his thing. He does other stuff. But in our arena here, we talk about price resistance and technical indicators a lot. And so one of the things that happens is as the stock rallies higher, different traders, day traders, investors, whatever, they like to sell as the stock moves up. They like to sell at areas where the stock sold off in the past. And you can see it everywhere. See it right here? You can see it here on BCPC. Right? So if we can, we like to use our targets right there as well. And so that's why you saw when we took that first pop, our first target on BCPC was 42, pretty much right in line with where other traders would take their profits. Not because I believe that that's the best we could do was 42. It's just because you have to expect that other traders will sell at a spot where in the past the stock sold off before. Now that we've taken most of our profit, we can shoot for the higher price, which is going to be up here, 44, right? And it'll just be kind of fun. If it gets to 44, we'll make a little bit more money. Notice how 44, our second target, is just a hair under this. So if we get the opportunity to raise our target, we're not going to go much higher than 46 and a quarter, right? It's the area where the stock sold off before. If we get there, the same thing will happen. People will sell at the same spot where sellers sold the stock before. Does that make sense? It sounded like it kind of came out wrong. Is it good? All right. All right. So on BCPC now, we're only risking 2% on the last portion of our position. Looking good. Now Boeing, if you had the chance to look on the members page today, you notice that Boeing hit our first target. And according to our spreadsheet that we posted on there and that we reviewed, this is kind of our home base right here. Those of you that are new, this is really our focus sheet. Everything you need to know is right on this sheet. If you like to see the charts, those are also on the page as well, but I'll reference this a lot. This is where I keep track of everything that's going on. Now Boeing, we had a target of 84 and a quarter, okay? And today we were able to hit that target very quickly. We only have this position, we haven't had the position very long, right? And what we did is we took the bet, where's my thing? Okay. We took the bet that when we get to this point again, that people wouldn't sell any further. Notice that every time you come up to these areas of prior price resistance, people were selling. We just made the bet that they would stop selling, and this time we'd get through it. So just to be sure, we placed our order just ahead of it, right? Just on top of it. So if people decided to keep buying it, we would be one of the buyers. And we made the bet that, normally Boeing's a boring stock and that it would be really exciting if it got over this high. So far, that's working. Our target today was hit at 84 and a quarter. Like I said, very quickly, really within the past 6 days, 7 days. So pretty cool there on Boeing. Now what happens is we'll say that we have already taken 3/4 of our profits off. Now I know a lot of you do the half and half. I love it. You can do that as well. That might be even easier. The point is we're using the two targets. We hit our first one here of 84 and a quarter, and that's why you see it with a little strike through there. We're done. We've hit that. Now our next target's not too much further ahead at 85.50, and we'll see. Obviously we're on a good roll right now. The stock's been up, up, and up. Chances are you get a pullback, meaning a few days that drop down like BCPC before we head higher. But if not, just realize our second target is at 85.50. And I want to show you guys a chart that I put in the letter because I have a lot of questions on the types of orders that you place to enter and exit our place. So I want to make sure we simplify that for you guys. Anyways, nice job on Boeing. If you're playing along, kind of fun. I prefer to not have it this way where they take off so fast, but kind of fun when they do, isn't it? I like it. Now, the symbols down here represent our newer positions that we haven't hit our first targets yet. MTGE, we make the comments that we really just have to get over this high. If you look at the weekly chart, which remember we talked about Boeing getting over an area where people were selling. Once you get over it, hopefully we should see a nice movement to the upside there. All right, so we're still waiting on MTGE. We'll see. Notice the volume's kicking in there just a little bit, getting a little more active. A few days should solve that problem, and we'll see where we get. On MTGE, notice when it's highlighted in yellow, we've had the opportunity to raise our stop. And so we're now only risking 6% on this play. And if it hits 24.91, we'll lose 6% on the play. So hopefully that doesn't happen. If we get over the high, which we said somewhere around 26.75, I thought. Pretty much, yeah. We should be able to hit that first target pretty quickly. So I'm looking forward to moving this one up into the target one hit. Moving on to our gold mining symbols, we've got AEM, and AEM represents the it's a stock that they mine for gold or silver. Same with AUY. We'll talk about that in a second. They mine for gold and silver, so it's been a tough sector to try to pick the bottom on as gold continues to get hit there. But AEM showing some strength after this nice strong day here. So we're seeing some other people decide that maybe this could be the bottom. Let's take a shot at it. And so AEM looking like it's following through a little bit. Not really a whole lot else to say on that one. Kind of still floating around here at the bottom. We'll see what happens. And then while we're talking about them, let's look at AUI. There we go. Same picture, right? Same sort of thing. Long-term charts, got a long pullback here. Daily charts, long pullback. Realize that we're picking the bottoms here, and could be tough, but so far so good. Not too bad on these two. So not a lot to say on those, as those are newer positions and they're in a tough sector. So we don't pick bottoms often, but hopefully we got the bottoms of these. Dollar General looking good. We saw that quick move up and over. Remember, we bought it here, right over this tail, and we saw the quick move up and above it. And I said, okay, that's fine. Probably pulls back first, and now we've just kind of been holding out here. Not too bad. Not a whole lot else to really say about it. Notice on our spreadsheet here, we have the opportunity to reduce our risk a little bit and still keep our stop right under the 50-day moving average, which again is our blue line. Our little problem child here, this AEO, after the big gap down was looking pretty good, but now I kind of fear that we're going to end up with a stock that's right back in the middle of this mess. See it here? I'm not excited about this one. So this is the one that bugs me the most. It's not moving a whole lot anymore, and I don't really want to end up in this because there's no profit or loss to be made in here. It just goes back and forth, and it's really frustrating. So we'll see what happens, but if there's a problem child in the portfolio, we'd have to say that's the one. I did not raise the stop on AEO. Notice there's really nothing we can do there. I don't want to sneak it up really above this tail. I'd like to hide beneath that. Seemed like there were some people interested in buying it there. So at the moment, we leave it at 1955. That bugs me a little bit, but what you gonna do? Moving on. Our newest plays represent the last four down here. United Technologies. This was the pricey one. So if you guys don't like playing the high dollar stocks, almost $100 stocks, not a big deal. You could skip this one. But also to remember that our targets were, my first target was just under $100, and chances are that's going to be both of my targets, right? Because I don't like playing stocks right around that $100 area. So if we can get $99, $100 right in there, this will be the one kind of exception to taking the whole position at one target. And I'll keep you posted as we get there. But so far, not too bad. Again, we took out this little range. We're finding that some people are interested in playing it. There's a little money for them to make, and hopefully they're willing to keep buying it up to $100, maybe even a little bit further. So that's United Technologies. It's going well, but I try not to recommend too many of these that are $100. Like what's the one? Win or Blackstone or something. Let's see what that one is. Yeah, like Blackstone. That was looking pretty good. That's an expensive stock, right? So I try not to recommend too many of those because it's hard. If you're new and you're just, got your account, you're just getting started, it's hard to buy a lot of those expensive stocks. But we'll sprinkle one or two in there every now and then, and United Technologies doing okay. So not much to say there. A run triggered today, right? One we're looking at here that can have lower volume. So we'll just keep that in mind. We set a $26 entry price today, and we were able to hit that. Not much to say, as this one's a newer position. It's a good, strong company, both from obviously you can see the stock's in great shape here. Keeps moving higher, good volume, but also they're making good money too. So if you follow fundamentals, they're doing all right. So we'll see if that continues. Now, from a technical standpoint, when you look at the weekly chart, the reason I like this is from the large gap the other day, nobody really sold. There was no volume to the downside, nothing. You see how everybody bought it on that day, and then whoop, real quiet, nothing going on. So I like that, and add to that that my belief is that these people are thinking, hey, there's a lot of money to be made here because here's the gap, right, or here's the big day. And when you look at it, people are seeing there is nothing price resistance-wise until way up here. So I think a lot of people are willing to hang on to this and take the shot that it's going to get up there. And I'll bet you when we get over this high again, you'll see more people buy. Now the reason it moves slowly is the exact same reason microchip is moving slowly. When you have such a big, huge day, check this out. Like this. Back the chart up. When you have a big day like this, shocking move, big up move on whatever the news was, earnings or something, you find yourself away from the moving averages. And the general rule is that the big guys, the guys that have all the money, they have to report to their bosses and say, I bought this stock today. I think it's really going to do well. They have to report where they bought relative to everybody else. Did they buy close to the average price over the last 30, 60, 90 days? Did they buy well above or well below? So they have to talk about that, and they have to explain their decisions. Every week they get together and they talk about, all right, you guys bought a stock, you believe in this sector, this symbol, why? And so there comes a point where they can't justify buying it any higher anymore. They can't go to their boss and say, well, I paid 8% higher than the average of everybody else, right? Imagine, you go out to buy a car and you're looking at this sweet new Infiniti, and you're like, oh man, I'm gonna go pick this nice SUV up or something. And then you go home and your wife's like, well, did you get a good deal? And you're like, nope, I paid 8 to 10% higher than everybody else pays. It's not gonna go over too well, right? So it's the same with the people that buy these stocks. So what they do is rather than get all excited and then buy it or do something crazy, they sit and they wait. And the more and more time that goes by, see the averages? The more they can justify it. Well, I only paid 3% more, but it's okay because it's got the potential to return me 20%, 25%, whatever. So now they can justify it. You go back to microchip, it's the same thing. Big shocking move up. See how the volume drops down after that? Because nobody else can justify paying that higher price. Let's back that up. There you go. But give it time, and look what happens down here. See these moving averages catch up? All of a sudden they can say, well, hey, over the last 30 days, I bought it right about, or over the last 20 days, I bought it right about the average of everybody else. I don't have to worry about it. So now that it's kicked in here, that's why I think you probably see this microchip do okay from here. Same thing with A-Run. Now they can justify it. Well, I'm paying more about the average. And given the potential return being way up here, I think you see more and more people join the party. And really, if I could, I guess I can do that. You can see more and more people joining the party, meaning buying the stock, as we get closer to the average. See it there? So it's kind of a neat thing to see, and then now you know what the deal is behind that. All right, so let me put my chart back here, and we'll move on. Hey. Okay. We talk about AUY. Next up is Macy's. Macy's is a similar story. We got our entry there on 42 on Macy's, and so we're looking for a move up and above this range. And so we'll see if the market can keep moving higher and the S&P gets all excited and heads another 25 points higher. We should be fine enough to suck these people in and get them into Macy's. So Macy's triggered today. If you like the retail names, again, Macy's, they do okay. They're not killing it, but they do okay, making money. All right, so those were the recent plays. Macy's, all right, if you hadn't had a chance to buy that, clearly if you weren't around today, we're right at the entry, so no big deal there. AUY, it's kind of an unofficial play we were talking about last week. So I said, if we can get that 1450, probably play it again with you guys. Some of you guys wanted to buy it at 1450, and we're asking. That's cool. No problem. And then A-Run, same thing, yeah. So we're at 26. As long as you don't wake up tomorrow and find it at $28, it's okay. So, and maybe even you can get it a little bit cheaper. Beat the moderator. So then moving forward, we still have two left that have not triggered yet. Remember WY, we're waiting for that to get up to that 3075. It's been awfully quiet. Not a very active symbol, which is fine. Just hasn't really moved a whole lot. I remember we talked about if you're going to only play one symbol with us and just test the waters, test this portfolio a little bit, don't pick this one. This is a very slow-moving stock. You're going to be very disappointed if you only play one symbol that we recommend, and then it's a real slow mover. So, however, if you're building a portfolio and learning to kind of manage a series of symbols, that's fine. We get to 3075, I'll be in it with you. And then MSCC, this is kind of a low volume name. So if you don't like that, just be careful. Or if you're going to buy 10,000 shares, you're not going to do it on this one. So just a heads up there. We're looking for 22, very close to hitting the entry today. I was actually in front of the computer this morning, looked at it, and I thought, all right, here we go. Come on, hit my order. Let's go. And didn't get it. So a little bit of a bummer there. Now on the short side, I don't recommend a lot of shorts. But if you like playing shorts, look at Baidu. Baidu's not doing so well. And Baidu, under 87.50, is about to fall into an area where there's really nothing to stop it. So I thought about making a chart for you guys. If you don't mind, I just say 87.50. It's a good short entry to play Baidu. The poor stock is as a whole, company's not doing very well. And no reason why that should change anytime soon. So if you want to have a short position in there, Baidu is a decent one to look at. All right. Now, real quick, so let's look at like this MSCC. So I want to pull up, where is it? Let me see if I can find it real quick. I put it in the letter. How do I get to that? Some people, they were asking, what type? How do you know what type of order to place? Right? If you're going to buy above or sell below, how do you know what sort of thing to place there? And and I'm just going to shrink this down and open my folder. Give me 1 second. All right, there it is. Sweet. And if you look at this, I made a little chart for you guys. I can post it on the thing too if you like. It's a little fuzzy because it's small. I made it small for the letter. But basically what we're looking at here, there you go, is if you're looking to buy a stock at a price that is above the current price. And what does that mean? So we're looking at MSCC, and we want to buy it if it gets to 22. Well, 22 is up here, right? So the price has not yet reached 22. The type of order you would place is a buy stop, right? Because you want to buy, you don't want to sell. You want to buy it at 22. So you're going to go into your platform, whether you're using the ViewTrade web trader or the Elite platform here that I have, you're going to actually want to place a buy stop order. Okay. Now, when you buy it, let's say it goes to 22. Okay, it goes up here, and you go, yay, my buy stop order was filled. Now I'd like to protect that position in the event that it drops. Right? Possibility that it could move against me, and I might not be in front of the computer. Well, now you're talking about selling, and you're going to want to place a sell stop order at the price that we have on our spreadsheet. See it? So in MSCC's case, you would place a buy stop order at 22, and then once you get it, you say, okay, well, I want to get out at 2024 if you want to use the same stop as me, and then that's going to be your sell stop order. All right? Now, what happens when the stock is moving up like our Boeing today? Okay, we used a buy stop order to enter Boeing. We have our sell stop order sitting here just in case Boeing drops and doesn't work out. But we also want to be prepared over here at 84.25 and 85.50. So what type of order do we place above the market when we want to get out, meaning we want to sell? All right, so I made a little chart for that too. So anytime you want to buy a stock above the price of the market, or you want to sell a stock that you own above the market, these are the two orders you're going to place. a sell limit to sell an open position above for a profit, or a buy stop order to enter a long position that you want to play. And if the stock, if you own the position and you want to protect it, right? Say it's a long position, you want to protect your account from getting crushed in case the price of the stock drops, you place a sell stop order, right? And then we don't do this, but if you wanted to, in the event that you were short, let's say that, because we don't really buy stocks when they're dropping. So if you were short a stock and you wanted to put a profit order below the market price, think about it, when it's short, when the stock is dropping, you're making profit. If you want to take a profit here, you would place a buy limit order, and as it drops, your buy limit order would be hit, right? And you would take your profit. It's the exact opposite of the sell limit. Now, if you want to have a sell stop and a sell stop and a sell limit. Okay. So what you can do is, it's called a range order. And so what you can do is place an order that says, okay, let's say this is the price of the stock right here, and you say, well, if it goes up to here, I want to get out. But you know what? If it goes down here, I want to get out as well. And let's say the stock price goes up, when I get to my sell limit order, I want you to fill it. I want to get out, and then cancel this one so I don't have to go and cancel the platform. So that's called a range order, or an OCO order, which means one cancels other, and then the platform will do that for you. If it goes up and hits this order, it'll cancel the other one. If it goes down and hits your stop order, it's going to cancel that other one. So when you go into the platform and you say, on the web version, when you say, okay, I want to do that type of order, it's going to ask you for two prices. It's going to ask you for this price up here and this price down here, and then you're set. So you could do that. That'd probably be more useful for, let's say, like Boeing right now. So we have our stop price at 75. So now that we only have one more target to hit, you could say, okay, I want out if it goes down to this number, and I want out if it goes up to this number, and it'd be the same one order to accomplish the same thing. Boeing goes up to 85.50, out, and then this order would be canceled. Okay. You got it. All right, so I want to make sure we cover that. Now, if you guys want me to post that to the page, well, we'll look at the letter. Look at yesterday's letter. I put it in there for you because we were getting a few of those questions. And that's cool. That's the kind of thing that, I mean, nothing's too basic. If you guys want to cover some of this stuff, we have a lot of members that are very new to investing, so I don't mind reviewing these things at all. And it gets a little confusing, doesn't it? It's kind of weird how they make these orders, but you'll get it. Just think, if the orders are above the current price, all you want to do is sell limit or buy stop. If the orders you want to place are below the market price, you want to do a buy limit or a sell stop. The only options you need. All right, so this is our, so let's get that out of the way. So this is our existing portfolio. Again, it is available on the members page if you'd like to see a larger version of it. If you want to see some of the charts of the entries, now the charts that's a new thing. Just started putting those on there for you guys, and I'll update them, you know, when something happens, like Boeing hit a target, so we'll change that. The portfolio is on there. If you came late or you had to leave early, this is always recorded. This will be posted on the members page as well. And always, if you have any questions at another time other than this class, feel free to email Dustin@tradingwings.com. Okay. All right, I'm going to wrap it up, get this video posted on the page. Have a great rest of your day or evening. And we'll talk soon. We'll be back Thursday. Good night or good morning.